Good afternoon. If you're one of my 50 subscribers, I really appreciate your support. It does mean a lot. I started this just playing around. This is kind of fun and as advertisement, and I enjoy it. I might not be great at it, but it is what it is. Anyways, I did want to talk about a few things. I kind of want to go over, my thoughts about making jewelry. I've been doing it for a year now, and kind of, my opinions on it, how lucrative it is, how much work goes into it, and if it's an easy thing to do. Do you think you can do it? Do you think you can become a artist that makes jewelry, or really, this goes across the board, an artist that makes pretty much anything? Are you stubborn enough to make it work? So I didn't get into this because I wanted to get rich doing it, right? That's not what I was thinking when I started it. It actually started as a way for me to make stuff that I can engrave. I didn't really think that I was going to fall in love with making jewelry. It just happened, I started making things, and then I got these other ideas, and then I started to slowly realize, holy crap, like the way my brain works, and the freedom to create anything I want to create was awesome. Before that, I was into gunsmithing. I got a degree in business administration, and then I got a degree in gunsmithing, and went to a school. I teach at that school now, part-time. So I do enjoy those things, but the freedom to create things that you want to create in your own way is fairly limited. Especially with gunsmithing, there's a set rules. There's rules you have to go by. There's legal rules you have to follow, but there's also very specific rules when it comes to making guns, thicknesses of materials, types of materials, proportions, and everything kind of has to fit together just perfectly. There's an exact, mathematical equations for certain things. And that's not how I am. I kind of like to just freely play and have fun. So when I started making jewelry, it really got me excited because I could play without rules. I was in my sandbox, and nobody was telling me what I had to do next. It was just me doing what I wanted to do next. And most of my stuff came out really cool. I mean, I've had very few items that I got done with and was like, yeah, I'm not happy with that. For the huge majority of stuff I've made, I've been very happy with it and very proud. And a lot of people do. I get a lot of good responses from the stuff that I've made. Those responses don't necessarily turn into sales. They turn into compliments, and compliments are awesome. I love compliments. It's hard to operate off of compliments alone, but I'm greatly appreciative of compliments. I would almost rather make things that make people happy than make things that make me rich. I mean, I honestly would. It makes me happy to see that I'm doing a good job and that I'm growing and getting better at a certain thing. So, in this video, I kind of want to talk about some of the things that are setbacks, some of the hurdles that I didn't necessarily think that I would have to cross, and kind of the things that I really love about it. So one of the pros to making jewelry, or one of the pros to being a self-employed artist, is the freedom to kind of enjoy life. And that is very big for me. So, if you work a regular 9 to 5, you have somebody standing over you all day long. Even if you don't, there's somebody somewhere who's paying attention to exactly what you do and how much you're getting done and how proficient you are. And you're going to get paid the same no matter if you're doing your work and everybody else's work, or if you're not doing anything at all. Your paycheck's usually the same. So one of the pros to being self-employed artist is you have the freedom to literally stop and smell the roses. Like, literally. The other day, I was doing something in the shop and I needed to go out to the truck to grab something. And I'd gotten to work at 8 o'clock that morning, and it was probably 10 o'clock. So when I walked outside, man, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It wasn't cold. It wasn't hot. It was just right. And the flowers had just started blooming. And there was these beautiful little purple flowers on the ground. And there were butterflies and bumblebees. There were so many butterflies. It was crazy. So I thought, man, that's pretty. So I came in and I grabbed my camera and my tripod, and I sat out there and I filmed all these little butterflies and the bumblebees, and then I walked down to the shop to get what I needed, and there was a black snake sitting there. So I filmed him just kind of hanging out and doing his thing. And it's very nice to be able to enjoy nature, to enjoy the beauty of life without feeling like you have to constantly be doing something for somebody else, or you're going to not make them happy, or you're going to get in trouble, or whatever. It's freedom. It's true freedom, and that is awesome. It does come with a price, but to me, that price is worth it. Later on, the next day, I work usually anywhere from, and I say it over and over, 12 to 16 hours. And I'm not exaggerating. Every single day of the week. So I woke up and I came over to the shop. I did a little bit of cleaning, and I got to thinking, man, it's such a pretty day outside. And, I'm going to have, I got some stuff coming up that's it's going to put me out of being able to do physical labor for a few weeks. So I thought, well, let me go do something, kind of get it out of my system and enjoy nature. Seeing all the wildlife and stuff really got me excited about spring. So I decided to go down to a local national park and go gold panning. So I got all my stuff together, went down there. On the way down to the creek, there's all these beautiful purple flowers and blue flowers and yellow flowers that are blooming in the middle of the woods. And there's all this wildlife, little salamanders and grub worms and, birds, deer, snakes, all kinds of beautiful animals. And the creek was it was amazing to sit there and to listen to the water trickling down the creek, and the beautiful rocks and the boulders and the water rushing around them, and gently trickling over the rocks. I mean, it's very tranquil. It's very peaceful, and in this time, I think people need that. They don't understand. A lot of people don't understand how amazing it is. They just want to go take a pill to try to feel happy. When really all you need is to go outside and enjoy it. Enjoy nature. Enjoy what's around you. Just stop and smell the roses. And to be an artist that is self-employed, you can do that. Like, you can choose to do that. I wouldn't do that all the time. Like, you can do that every day. You can stop and relax for 30 minutes to an hour every day. Put the phone down a little bit, and you can make time for those things. But, You still have to get your work done. But that inspires creativity and relaxes you, and it makes you happy. And that's one of the biggest pros to doing this, to doing art, to making jewelry as an artist. I can live my life, and then my work can kind of fit into my life. I don't have to fit my life into my work. And that's a huge positive. You know, there are massive negatives that a lot of people can't deal with. And I understand that. So I'm blessed. I'm very lucky that I'm able to do what I do. But if you are willing to, if you're willing to take the hit on some of the negatives, in my opinion, the positives just outweigh it. If you want to be an artist and you want to continue to do this, right? You have to be able to live much more simply. You can't go out and eat all the time. You can't just buy anything you want. A lot of times your money has to go directly back into what you're doing to buy more supplies and to keep it up. It's not going to be one of these things, at least for the first few years. I mean, you're not going to be out buying big cars, going in debt, or you might be going in debt, but you're not going to be taking out loans, and you know, you're just not going to have that kind of disposable income. So you know, the struggle is real when it comes to an artist. It is. There's, you know, you might go online and read these comments from people that you've never met, you've never seen their work, you've never seen their business, but they tell you how they've done, you know, all this money in their first year of work, right? Well, like I said, I have a very specific set of things that I do. I can't stray from that, or I'm not happy. I want everything that I do to be handmade, truly handmade, from scratch. So that cuts a lot of things out for me. I can't resell junk. There's a lot of money in reselling junk. There's a lot of money in selling factory-made junk. There's more junk to be sold. There is junk being spit out of factories left and right at an astonishing rate, right? And as an artist, you can't put art out that quickly. So when you go to sell your art, you can't price it the same as these factory owners can price their jewelry. Because if they put out 10,000 chains in a day, and you can only put one out every 2 days, or maybe one out every day, your prices are going to be vastly different. And to be able to explain that to a customer is difficult. They don't understand it. They just want to know why this chain is so much more expensive than that chain. And it is hard. It's hard as an artist. Another thing that's kind of difficult that I've had to overcome is understanding that people aren't necessarily bashing you sometimes when they say certain things. It's very hurtful. So I've had numerous times where somebody will ask me the price of something, and I'll tell them the price. I'll say, yeah, this piece is this much. And they'll say, oh man, that's really expensive. Will you know, let's say I say it's $1,000, and they'll say, whew, that's a lot of money. Can you take $500 for it? Well, for me, what that sounds like is, you're not worth what you think. You're only worth half of what you think you're worth. And, you know, a lot of times the jewelry I'm making, whether it has silver and gold in it, there might be $500 worth of materials in it, you know? So at that point, I'm just giving away my work, and I'll explain that, and they're like, oh, well, can you make it thinner? Well, yeah, but I can, but it's gonna almost be the same price. If I make it smaller, then it's harder to make. There's more links at that time. There's more soldering. So, I mean, the price isn't going to change all that much. So it's a very difficult thing. And for me, it's kind of hard because I have to keep telling myself, you know, don't take it personal. You know, everybody has a customer base, and not everybody is your customer. But I'm the type of person who does want to please everybody, and you have to get over that, because you can't please everybody, otherwise you'll go broke. I mean, it's impossible. I can't serve the same people that I would serve usually, because unfortunately, you know, my jewelry isn't necessarily made for everybody, and it's not being mean. It's, you know, it's fine, handmade, beautiful jewelry. And, you know, it is for customers that either have excess money that they can spend, or for people who truly value art, artistic art. I mean, I don't know the word for it, that truly value human-made, handmade, hand-designed products. You know, that's my customer base, and I have to continuously tell myself, don't get upset, don't get offended, and don't tear yourself up because you're trying to please everybody. It's not an industry where you please everybody. Originally, jewelry was made for, it's kind of pointless, right? It's decorations on a Christmas tree. It's just for show. It's not for anything other than to make you feel good and to show off. That is what jewelry is to do, is to be flashy and to show off, or display different art, display different things like that. And you know, it's not a necessity. It's a luxury. It's a luxury item. And being a luxury item, you know, by definition, kind of means that it isn't for everybody. It's for people who can afford to own it. And art is one of those luxury items that, not, unfortunately, especially nowadays, and that's why I try keeping my prices affordable, is because I want everybody to be able to afford my stuff. But it's just not possible. I can't get my prices low enough for everybody. And I have to, you know, this is a business. So that's something you have to continuously tell yourself is, hey, this is a business. Like, you're not in the business to make everybody happy. You're in the business to make your customer happy. You're in the business to give them the best possible piece of jewelry that you can, the best possible customer service. You're there to treat them amazing and make their experience absolutely unforgettable. I'm sorry. You are there to make their experience completely unforgettable in a good way. That's what you're here for. You're not here to please every single person. So that's one thing that I didn't realize I would struggle with. And I did struggle with it for a long time. I have a teacher who's also, she is my engraving mentor. And she really had to get on to me for a long time about my pricing, and about how I need to understand that I'm I am not in this. Like, I help people. I love to help people. And she had to get it out of my head that this isn't one of those times where you're helping people. You are making stuff for people who don't need the things that you're making. You're spending your hard time, your hard work, and all of this stuff to make this beautiful piece of art that you created, and they have to pay you for your time. And you can't please everybody by lowering the price, because that's not doing you any favors. And I know that sounds silly, but that was very hard for me to get out of my head. That was a very hard thing for me to get into my head. So that was one of the struggles I had personally. Not everybody's like that, but I definitely did struggle with that. You're also going to have to realize that very few people are going to jump into making art, right? And everything is going to go perfectly from the get-go. They're going to start selling stuff, and I didn't realize how hard it was going to be to sell stuff. I didn't realize how hard it would be to sell the products. You really have to put yourself out there. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I started making these videos. It's not to become a YouTube creator. That's not, I'm not a YouTube creator. Obviously, you can see that. I am a creator who is trying to build up confidence. And one of the ways that I thought I would do that is by making these videos. So I like to share my passions and my thoughts and my hobbies with people. But I didn't like to be on camera, and I didn't, I don't really like to be in front of people. So now I'm forcing myself to be in front of people. I'm forcing myself to be on camera and to talk and to learn how to sound better. And it's a personal growth thing. So you really have to be the type of person who can go out of their comfort zone to learn new skills. If you don't like learning new skills, I would say going into art or going into jewelry making and wanting to be very successful, it's not going to be for you. You really have to get uncomfortable a lot, and you're gonna have to be okay with failing a lot and rejection and just putting yourself out there in general. So you're not going to be able to just sit behind a computer screen, post stuff online, and expect it all to sell the next day or even the next month or within a year. I'm sitting on oh, I'm not even going to say what but it's difficult. It's not an easy thing. Selling stuff is not easy. And if you want to go in a shop, some of the shops charge 30-35% off of the sales price. So whatever I sell my jewelry for, I have to turn around and pay the shop 35%, or they turn around and pay me 65%. That hurts. My margins aren't that big. I don't make 35% of my sale price usually. Because if let's say my hourly rate is $20 an hour, I'm not making $20 an hour. I'm making way less than that, because a lot of that money has to go into gas and the lights staying on and fixing tools and some of my consumables, solder, all kinds of stuff. That's all figured into that labor. It's not just my labor. I'll price the silver, and then the labor and everything else is kind of in a bundle. And a lot of times, to keep the price low enough to where people will even look at it, I have to be low. I mean, and $20 an hour is low. It's, take home from that, the actual labor and the take home pay for that is next to nothing. Because, usually if I sold a piece, I would turn around and I would buy back more materials so I could keep on going. So, like I said, it's not for everybody. You definitely have to be stubborn. You have to be very stubborn, and you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. You're not going to be. I feel successful, okay? I do. I am successful. But my success is different than other people's success. So if your success means driving around in a $100,000 car, going home to a $500,000 million house, right? Then I would say be careful becoming or trying to strive to be a well-known artist. If that's your idea of success, I would say be very, very cautious of, you need to go work for somebody else. You need to go work for a corporate job, just being a random person in that corporation that can be let go tomorrow, that just has a job to do. That's what you're made for. This is not what you're made for. And I'm not being mean, it just is what it is. If your idea and definition of success is creating beautiful pieces of work, making other people really happy with what you make, getting excitement out of seeing other people's expression on their face when you bring them a piece of jewelry, and it lights them up and they think, oh my gosh, that is awesome. Then this is for you, right? That for me is success. People come to me because they know I can do it. People come to me because they know that I can literally, I can see anything, and I can turn whatever material I have into that thing. That's just what I do. It's what I've done my whole life. And at this point, people know that. People have seen it, and people know that that's who I am. And for me, that's success. For people to have faith and trust in me to be able to make this stuff and to put my name out there. And if somebody says, hey, this needs to be made, and there's no jewelry stores that want to fool with it, I can't find anybody who will make it. And then to have people say, hey, contact this guy, man. He makes all kinds of stuff. He can make it. He can do it. Watch his videos. They're awesome. That, to me, is success. And if that makes you happy, if that keeps you going, then this is absolutely for you. If not, this isn't for you. It's not. Being an artist is not for you. If you want to be comfortable every day, all day, know that you got a paycheck coming tomorrow. Know that, all this stuff is going to be the exact same today as it is tomorrow, as it is the next day, and you don't like change. Then a normal 9 to 5 is where you need to be. But if you don't like change, if you do like change, if you like to control your life and you like true freedom, and you like the idea to be able to just exist and create and get these ideas that are floating around your head, get them out of your head and into real life, into reality, right? If that's what drives you and that's what makes you happy, then the money and all that stuff no longer looks like success to you. You need money to be able to do certain things, for sure. But you don't need it to be happy. And if money is what makes you happy, be very, very careful on starting a business like this. Because that's not what keeps me going. I hope one day that this business does generate lots of money. I'm not saying that I don't care about money, but I'm saying that if money is your driving force, okay, and you don't really care if other people truly like what you're selling them, I wouldn't be an artist. You're probably not an artist. You're probably a business person that is kind of getting into it for the wrong reason. And I don't think you'll be successful. You might be successful in a jewelry store. You might be successful in jewelry resale. And, you might be successful working with AI, selling it to people that don't know any better. But as far as an actual artist who makes jewelry and is trying to grow their name, right? You really have to love what you do to be able to be successful at it. I kind of feel like I'm rambling on at this point. Anyways, I hope you got something out of the video. I'm sorry for rambling on. But like I said in the beginning, to my 50 subscribers, you frickin' rock. Maybe I'll have 51 next week. Either way, I don't really care. I'm just having fun. But if you have any ideas of anything you'd like to see me make, let me know what you think. If you've seen some of my jewelry, tell me what you think about it. Tell me what you think about what I had to say as far as jewelry making goes. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you next time. All right.